Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy for another Friday afternoon, evening live stream with you guys. Hopefully your week has gone by pretty well. It just seems to fly when you're reselling and having fun, right? Gotta just give you a little caveat. Both of us, I'm not feeling so great today. I have a little migraine that I've been fighting, and it tends to kind of just zap my energy. So I will apologize up front, but I have a feeling of dedication to this community, to this channel, that even if I'm not feeling good, I'm going to be here. So, and Jenna's not feeling so hot either. It's just kind of the way it is. It's kind of a really crappy day outside too. It just kind of adds to it. Rainy, like a really, unusual day for Las Vegas. I'll put it that way. But that's at least on the health side. But as far as on the business side, and as the title talks about, sales and offers are trending up. I woke up today to 3 offers, and then I had another 2 offers a little bit after that, and accepted 4 out of the 5. Had to submit a counter offer on a lowball offer, but between that and the cross posting onto other platforms, even had my second consecutive day with an Amazon sale. And I can tell you that we're over the.
Did you ship that sale?
Which one? The Amazon one?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Sure did. First one I did.
Okay.
And that's the thing also with Amazon. You got to be, you got to remember to check that account, because you get that notification on your text message that you made a sale, and then you'll get into eBay land and totally forget, especially if you're not used to making sales on Amazon. That's FBM. So I think we have about maybe 10 SKUs that we have put over to Amazon, and we're going to just keep pushing over more. Now, as I mentioned in previous videos that I've made this last week, we've done some tweaking to our listings, to our maybe removing stuff that hasn't sold so well on the secondary account. And we've had 3 straight days with pretty decent sales as a result of that move. Nobody can tell me, I understand people have an idea of how things work and maybe how things logically work for eBay. But when you do something and you're not getting any sales for 5 or 6 days, maybe a $20 sale, and then boom, you do something like remove bad inventory out of that store, and you get pretty decent sales that you weren't getting before. You made no other changes but add inventory. Well, that's enough I need to see. That kind of confirms what I've been talking about. So again, we're going to keep removing the stuff that doesn't sell off of that store. But on my main store, we've been. I was sitting in bed on the app, and I was going through each of my listings, and I would go to revise, and I'd compare my calculated FedEx shipping that was assigned to that listing. And then I'd switch it over to Ground Advantage calculated just to see a difference. And I'd say 1 out of every 4 or 5 listings, it was better to go with the Ground Advantage option. And I think there's a couple items like we had these wood racks. So if you have firewood racks, and I bought those last summer thinking, okay, so we get in the colder weathers, this is going to have a demand. People are going to want a place to store their firewood, and that stuff wasn't selling at all. Those 2 that we had, I made a change a couple days ago, and both of them sold to the same person. And I don't think I would have made the sale if I hadn't made those adjustments.
I swear those things have been in the way for so long.
Yeah, they have been in the way. Makes me think that maybe it's not going to be something I purchase again, but maybe if I would have done it right the first time and had the correct shipping policy in place, thank God to resellers. Thank God for Ground Advantage. I'm serious. We still had to deal with first class up to 16 ounces and only relying on priority mail as a way to compete with FedEx or UPS. There's a lot of sales I think I wouldn't have made because my shipping is just too high, if I'm being honest with you. So making tweaks, understanding that the buyer is price sensitive. So if you're just too high a price between your list price and your shipping, that buyer is not going to buy from you. And the same thing applies to me. And so it's making different changes. I still have about a half a store to go to switch over my policies. I'll probably do that tonight because it's something I do on the app. And I'm kind of behind today anyway because I had some business calls that I had to deal with. So the one item I did list was a lot of remotes that kind of were grungy looking, those garage remotes. And they almost instantly sold a lot of 18 for $60 plus shipping. So pretty good stuff. A lot of the things I've been talking about is they're working for me. And if you haven't, seen or, if you don't know what I'm talking about as far as the things that I've been doing, go and check out the video I put out yesterday. And also check out the eBay Power Hour podcast, the episode we drop tomorrow, which will go into best practices, and it kind of talks about it some more than that time tomorrow. So that's enough about me. Let's see who we have here. And again, we have Guide Guru. Thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate you. Not necessary, but we certainly 100% appreciate it. What is up, guys? Starting a new job Monday. Guess I'm back to part-time, 3-year run, but definitely still going to flip and love it. So that is the thing. I'm sad to see that you are, making the move from full-time to part-time, but the sad reality is a lot of people are doing that. And unfortunately, the mailman's not doing that. They're still working, and they're here. Thankfully, yesterday they came early, but of course on Fridays they wait till the show starts. So, but yeah, the idea that you're moving to part-time sucks, but you have to do what you got to do, right? And so thank you for being honest and open about it. I think a lot of people are in the same position. Thankfully, I'm not in that position, and I'm fighting every day so that I don't have to be in that position. So hopefully things change for you. Have an offer. See, here's another offer today, and I'm going to take it because they're only offering me like $10 less than what I have it priced as, even though it's a pretty decent item. All right, so hit the like button, guys, because you will get a sale within the next 24 hours, like that, within the next 24 hours, or we give you the money that it took you to click on that like button back in its entirety. So I can tell you, for whatever reason, it works. I don't know why or how, but so many people are like, wow, I can't believe it. I hit the like button, I got a sale. So maybe it's just karma, but hit that like button, guys. We've got Charles McBride says, thank you for showing up at your regular time. Some people don't show up when they're supposed to, not mentioning any names. I don't know who that could be, but thank you, Charles. Oh, hey, Josh, how you doing? I hate when people do that.
No call, no show.
Jerry Johnson says, hi, everyone. I hit the like button for a win. Yes. We've got Brenda Smith says, happy Friday, everyone. Sales were slow this week. My fault. I haven't listed as much this week. The boys have been ill. Yeah. Life gets in the way. That's another challenge that you have to deal with. And that's why whenever you have free time to get that draft bank going so that you can launch those listings on a day where you're just not feeling it, or like in my case, I wasn't planning on having a 2-hour Zoom meeting today, but I'm glad I did. I'll just put it that way. Josh says, hit the like button on the way in. Yes. And then if you're like Josh, you might get a sale that exceeds what you had the item listed for on eBay. Callie Deb says, hi, everyone. Bracing for a giant storm. Hoping you are all having a good day and getting some sales. Mine are still slow, but I just got one. Yay. Going to hit the like button for another one. Yeah, get that like button. Josh Galt, great to hear you both are killing it with sales and offers. Duncan says, ahoy, mateys. How's it go? How goes it? Did you buy Jenna her cheeseburger yet? Better yet, I actually made her a really good one yesterday. I always think that it's better if you can make it than go out and pick up a burger. Fresh ingredients, really good home cooking is better than anything you can buy at a restaurant. Flip It Good says, hey, everyone, happy Friday. How are you doing? Jovial's with us. Hey, FA fam. Happy National Working Naked Day.
Oh, no.
Thank goodness for some of us, the day is almost over. Well, this, as scary as of a picture that sounds to me, there's probably some people right now, that's their daily routine.
Yeah.
They're just commando. And yeah, it's like, that's kind of gross though, right? I don't want them handling their package and then handling my package.
Come on.
I'm just saying, I don't know if I like that idea, but okay, we'll get past that. And it's not, I'm not getting naked for any declared day. Duncan, I heard the recent eBay layoffs were all eBay tech staff employees. They got replaced by AI. I think it was middle management. I think Rockstar Flipper, and I don't know where he got his information, but he made a video talking about that, and well, they paid. It wasn't a new sale. Okay. And he made a video talking about who got laid off. I believe it was middle management. And that's usually what happens with the first round of layoffs. They find middle management positions. They're making quite a bit of money because of the position that they're in, because it is a cost-saving measure when they make these layoffs. And then they kind of sit back and see how that, how the business runs without those folks. And then they kind of continue, peeling away the layers of, in their minds, folks that are obsolete or no longer necessary.
We went to a little reseller taco night the other night, and we did get some information about concierge are no longer employed.
See, I don't know about that.
So I don't know if that is correct, but the person that we got the information from is very reputable, and I do trust that what they were saying is correct, but there is no more concierge.
Yeah. Shout out to Sonny. He invites us out for a Tuesday night taco night, right, at this tavern, right? And we're like, okay, cool, tacos. I've never heard of this place before. We thought it was just going to be Sonny, maybe his wife. We get there, and it's like all these resellers. Vicky, Katie, you got Mikey Bags of Money. You got Carrie and Don, American Arbitrage. And it was just a cool little 2-hour time that we had just hanging out. And they had a taco truck that was Wolf, the reseller who went to the Trash to Cash rally, I think it was last February, March. He was there. It was nice to see him again. Gave us all a discount for being resellers, which was cool. And good food, good times, and kind of glad we went and had some good conversations. Now, I want to dispel something real quick. I don't know if you've read the terms and conditions that eBay has recently put up on their website, and I will, if I can, try to see. It says changes to our marketing terms. So when you're in your seller hub on the PC, it'll say changes to our marketing terms, and it says we've made some updates to the eBay marketing program terms. Now, when it says eBay marketing, that's everything that eBay offers. That's all the different things, from the coupons to the markdown sale to the promoted listings to the offsite ads to really all the different tools above and beyond base listings. Okay. And that includes the larger stores that have dedicated managers. So for 99.9% of us that are watching this program right now, you do not have a manager, and you will probably never have a dedicated manager, one that will approach you and say, hey, we are interested in the volume that you're doing with eBay, and we want to help you maintain or build on that volume. And those account managers are there to kind of help assist that company or owner or team of resellers succeed, because that's a huge part of their business. Large companies that make large volume numbers of sales. And they will then ask the owner of that account if they want them to, on their behalf, help manage the promoted rates and campaigns. And then and only then, those account owners will either say, yeah, we would like you to do that, or no, we've got it. And through that agreement, eBay will go in and change promoted rates for different listings, or maybe even add a campaign, promote something that they weren't promoting before on that eBay business owner's behalf, or that company's behalf. Now, the verbiage in this eBay marketing program does speak to the fact that eBay can go in and either change promoted rates or can add campaigns for promotions. But that's only for those who have a designated account manager with huge eBay stores, and only if they've signed off with that account manager giving them permission to do so. And when eBay's talking about marketing service, it basically is everything under one umbrella, whether you have an account rep or not. It's not saying, and some channels are out there saying that by virtue of you selling on the site, eBay can now take your non-promoted listings and promote them however they wish, because that's not happening. And folks that are saying that, oh, watch out, guys, eBay's coming for your listings. I've yet to meet one person who has zero promotions where eBay has gone in and created a campaign for them. And so just know that that's not a thing. And that's not me sticking up for eBay. It's really not a thing. And this came up like 2 or 3 years ago when this verbiage went in, it also was published, because this isn't new verbiage. And people were, all up in arms because, here's eBay, they're going to make me promote now when I don't want to promote. And eBay had to come out and say, hey, this is just for certain situations and pre-approved accounts that have account reps, or account managers. So I just want you to be aware of that and don't fall for the, a lot of people accuse me of doom and gloom, but that really, if you're just interpreting something and you haven't seen one instance of it happening that you can point to and say, here's a screenshot or something like that, probably should just sit back and not say anything about it. But, that's just my thoughts on it. Steven J78 says, the old lady says I've been on her last nerve all day. That's just one more reason why flipping ain't easy. Well, I'm on her last nerve like every day, and that's why it's not easy for her, right? You're supposed to say no.
Today's a little different.
Yeah.
You're actually not on my nerve.
I'm just, I laid down before the live, because it just, whenever I get these migraines, I could take the migraine stuff for it, and the headache part will go away. But it's the feeling of just not having the no energy thing is just kind of where I'm at right now.
That is my freaking head.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do my hair today because it hurts so bad.
Let's see. Larry Todd, howdy. Is this where I can learn to get reach from eBay? Henry Squaw says, happy Friday, John, Jen, and Chad. It's been a busy week. Yes.
Good.
Yes. I mean, for sales, it's been good. We had a lot of stuff to ship today. So just kind of build on that and keep, focusing on best practices. I think Josh and I had a really good conversation that we filmed last night, and it's going to be out for you guys to see tomorrow morning. Haven't thought about yard sales. We've got a lot of inventory, but maybe.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think so. I think it's Sunday that it rains. Lissa says, hope it's a happier Friday, FA family. Yes. Ping G's with us. Thanks for being here, Ping. Says, hello, John, Jenna in the chat. You have Chastity with us.
Monday and Tuesday.
Tuesday's
going to be.
No, it's still going to rain on Sunday.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it's not. We might get a few sprinkles from it.
Yeah. Biscuit Bud, Archie, what's up, FA fam? Thanks for being here. And then happy crappy Friday. Stephen J78 says, sales have been good this week, but I broke a mirror yesterday, so I guess I'll be married to another 7 years. Primo Chemo says, happy Friday, J&J in chat. Thanks for being here. Aloha. Maybe I sound like him a little bit. I don't know. He does that. Amazon Seller 99 says, hey guys, yes, you got our rain from yesterday. We sent it your way. You're welcome. Yes, we like the rain.
We like the rain. It just makes you want to lay in front of the fireplace.
Yeah, but that chill out in the garage. I open the garage door and I get that chill coming in. I like working in that environment. So Maya says, hello, everyone. My sales have been pretty strong this week, so hopefully things will keep going this way. Yes, I think we're seeing the same thing too. Terry Chilikas says, hey. Thanks for being here.
Hey.
JRKR 1964 says, hi, lovely people. Thanks for being here. And we got Devon.
Hello, Devon.
Josh Avendano says, I'm about to subscribe to Vendu and was wondering what plan did you sign up for? What's your affiliated code for Vendu? Well, there's a link down below if you want to check it out. 25% off of whatever plan you choose. I'm not sure which plan we took. It's all based on the number of of listings monthly that
Ours
you.
was the 4,000.
Yeah, but I mean, it just really depends.
We
How many
didn't
items?
really need it, but we were using it because we do the end and sell similar. So
Yeah.
it kind of just, I didn't ever want to get too close to not being able to use it.
Yeah, and so Tommy, Tommy Bernard. Just a reminder for those of you who can't make reselling work. There's a place where you can go, and even if you're in California, I'm sure they'll take your application, even though there's not a Piggly Wiggly in sight. Lisa says, thank you, John and beautiful Jenna, for coming. Even feeling rough, we greatly appreciate your sincere commitment to our community. I just enjoy it, right? It's something that I look forward to. I plan my day around it. And sometimes I'm even thinking, like on a Wednesday, maybe I should do a surprise live, because I just enjoy getting up here and talking to you guys. But maybe I'm just weird that way. Spam Banshee says, you two are the champs. Well, thank you.
We're trying.
We try.
You know,
we try.
It's not for a lack of effort, that's for sure.
Gail says, hello all. Happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday to you. We got Fierce Monkey Biz, says LMAO Tommy. Mark Suddick says, I purchased from a seller using eBay International Shipping Program. I never buy from a seller again using that service. Tracking is horrible and the shipping time is unbelievably slow. So I believe that I remember you're in Canada. And yeah, it gets sent to eBay first, and then who knows how long they take to handle the package before they slap the label on it and put it in the mail. So certainly I can feel your pain. As a buyer, you're expecting it to arrive in a decent amount of time, and if it takes a week or two to get to you, that's, I think, kind of unacceptable. Mark Suddick says, eBay International Shipping Program is so bad it's going to drive buyers off the platform. And if you consider what they charge the buyer for that service, I could see it being a way for them to generate revenue for themselves, but it's not a good buyer experience, I don't think. Devon Short says, please hit the thumbs up, make that eBay sale. Yes. Right. And we have Kim Sharp with us. Thanks for being here. Tommy says, been doing the same, changing all my polybag listings to take advantage of cubic. Pretty good savings first few zones. Yeah, and especially if you charge calculated, you're passing that savings on to the buyer. It's no different than keeping that shipping policy and lowering your price, right? But in this case, you're not lowering your bottom line. You're keeping your prices the same, and that option for the buyer. Now, if you do free shipping, that's less money that you have to spend out of your pocket that is deducted from the cost after eBay passes the money on to you. So good idea to really compare rates. And, just like we talk about not having all your eggs in one basket on eBay, don't have all your eggs in one basket when it comes to shipping. And someone had asked, are the rates now on eBay labels comparable to pirate ship? And for my observation, because cubic is now being added to USPS labels, it is very, very comparable. And so good on eBay for doing that. Or I don't know if it's a negotiated thing that they finally got around to doing, but I'm seeing a huge savings. Let's see. Maya says, I need to start looking for jobs again too. I only quit because I had a mental breakdown, but I had intended to look again. Jobs can do that for you, Not only are you having to deal with your own expectations of yourself as an employee, but you have to live up to the company's expectations. And whether, like for some people, it's a lack of good training or just a lack of communication, a lack of a lot of things, it could really add a lot of stress. And then you add the commute in. For me, it's about how do I make this thing work here so I don't ever have to leave the house again. Of course, that's horrible to think. I can't think of staying in this house every day, all day. But you know what I'm talking about. I'm not required to get out and commute and to make someone else happy. And that's, I think, that mental side, that peace of mind that you have is it's a night and day from even when I was running my own department. That pressure of having to please somebody. Maybe I have a different vision for that department, but my manager doesn't have the same vision. I have to kind of live up to that vision, even though my heart's not into that, going that direction. With your own eBay business, you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. Mike Camparelli says, hi, John and Jenna in chat. Sales starting to pick up. Added a private coupon and added it to my buyer's feedback message. And I hope that works for you. My experience is that those private coupons generally tend to work for someone who's like, okay, I bought this thing from this seller before, had a great experience, and I might run out of this thing here pretty soon, and I'm going to go back and buy this same thing. And if you don't have that same thing, if you're a one-off seller, you're probably not going to be able to take the same kind of advantage of it than say a niche seller would be able to take advantage of. But hopefully it works out for you. Let me know how you what kind of success you have with that. Callie Deb says, I just sold some ski goggles because the season is here. It is here. It is here probably till I'd say about March. And then, it's going to start to really fall off.
In here, but maybe in other areas, there's more snow.
Tommy Bernard says, I heard Josh Galt is doing DoorDash for lunch rush. That's why he didn't go live. He's just trying to, he's trying to make it work.
He's trying to make everything work.
You have merchandise in your store and you realize, hey, there's dealers out there that'll pay me more than what I have it listed for on eBay. Maybe you haven't adjusted the price in years. Well, I think it's worth the effort to do that. And unfortunately, he wasn't there today to allow us to have someone to talk to while we were working. Guide Guru says, actually, my sales have been good last 7 days. Guess eBay knew. Yeah. I think people are, I don't know if people are getting the refunds yet. Tax refunds. I think it's a little too soon. Was it usually like middle February when people start getting those?
Companies have until January 30th or 31.
Yeah, to get your. But some people do their taxes as soon as possible. Look, they might guess. They go, because I remember one time when we were working at the other place that I would just use the last pay stub that I had and take the year to date off of that, and usually it matched up. And I'm sure there's not everyone is waiting for their 1099s or their W-2s to come in. Let's see. Fierce Monkey Biz says, well, how are we to know if we like this episode? JK, well,
you're just going to have to hang in there and hopefully,
you can always click it again.
We can tickle your fancy.
But if you unclick the like, you might open yourself to a return. So don't do that.
Say that out loud.
Yeah. Devon Short says, raining here.
Ooh, in Idaho.
The Thrifty Loon says, I hit the like for my sale. Yes. Bootleg Craig. I average around $800 to $1,000 per day. And so far today, it's a one small sale. Well, hopefully, you can get some more sales. Maybe
the day's not over yet.
Maybe consider selling authentic things and not bootleg. I mean, I'm just looking at your name, but yeah, some days are just worse than others, but just keep pushing forward is all you can really do. You can't control if there's a problem on the site that's preventing your buyers from buying your item. Tommy says, is there a special lane for walkers crossing the border, Josh? Let's see. Flip the Thrift says, hello, everyone, and hope all is well. I recently changed my promoted listing ad rate to 10% instead of 2%. That has been working for me. Yeah, I went back to 10%, guys. For the first 2 to 3 weeks of the year, I said, you know what, I'm going to knock it down from 10 to 5% and see what happens. I mean, sales weren't also great the first few days of the year, so I knocked it down to like 5%. And was looking at the idea of trying to increase my top 20 impressions and stuff, but it just, after I thought about it, it was not logical. We talk about percentages, and I'm not going to go into the whole discussion with that, but I recently bumped up my percentages back to where I was last year, and that is also, in my mind, another factor. It's a lot of combined factors, and when I make changes, I tend to not just make one, I tend to make quite a few at one time. And it's hard to pinpoint what the driving factor is behind, getting hardly any sales to like, wow, I'm finally back on track. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And if there's anything that you can gather from the information I put out in the video yesterday or what we talk about in the Power Hour tomorrow, please, if your sales are stagnant, please give it a try, because it's the not doing anything that's, I think, for some, is going to be more harmful than actually trying something new. Tommy says Rockstar also says remotes are great. Remotes are okay. So these remotes go for $10 to $20 a piece. Some I can add shipping to because there's such a demand. Some I've had to go in and change it to no free shipping and kind of work that into the price. But for us, I won't go out and buy like TV remotes generally.
That's what he's talking about.
But there's all kinds of different remotes. I know that's what he's talking about. But remotes also do have demand, but I'm not seeking those kind of things. But I know what you're talking about because he sells those in bulk. But Larry Todd says, I am middle management Gwen, then me, then the dogs. Where do your hands like fall into that equation though?
They're number one. They're
okay.
The boss.
Okay. Paul Rose says, hi, John, Jen, and FA fam. A little tardy, but present. It's gone 11 p.m. here in the UK.
11 p.m.
11 p.m. So it's 11 p.m. there. It's morning. It's tomorrow morning in Australia. And hello to my peeps in the UK and in Australia.
Yeah.
Nice to see you guys. Josh Galt is concierge is done. Boo. That's what we heard. Now, I can't confirm that because I've never had concierge. Maya says, I saw Auction Professor's video complaining about the concierge, so I guess that checks out. And
yeah, there's a lot of, not only being that I heard it from somebody who uses concierge on a regular basis, especially over the last week or so, and tried to get a hold of somebody and there was nobody there.
And we were on one of those long tables at this tavern, and I'm at the end with Mikey. And all the good conversation that's going down on the other side of the table, I couldn't hear. It was too loud. So I'll take her word for it. But she probably heard it. JRKR says, not surprised they axe concierge.
Don said what?
I did a
Chanel bag for $3.99.
Yeah, I did source a Chanel bag for $3.99. It has the numbers. I will get it authenticated. Talking about desperation that people have, huh? Wow, that's awesome.
I don't understand why anybody who would own one of those bags would ever just donate it.
So I am kind of debating. I don't know what to do. How would you guys handle this? I have about 20 decent pairs of sunglasses. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the average to crappy pairs, we had 285 pairs we sold for $179 in a lot a couple days ago. The reading glasses, we had 66 pairs we sold for like $60-$70 plus shipping, even a couple days before that. So we were left with like 20 to 30 good pairs. I'm talking one pair of Versace, one pair of Louis Vuitton that we showed you guys on a previous live. And I was thinking maybe either sell them individually or sell them in one lot because these are lost and found and they have scratches and various blems on them. Is it better in anyone who's sold sunglasses before, is it better to sell them in a lot like that when there's issues than to sell them individually? And of course, letting it be known and taking as many photos as you can either way to let the potential buyer know that these aren't mint condition. But what do you think would be a good plan of action when it comes to those because I really don't sell sunglasses. And maybe it's better to be sold individually, but I don't know. What do you think?
I say put them in a lot and be done with it.
Well, but there's a difference between being done with it because we know they're going to sell to maximizing your profits, right? So we want both.
Nick Picker says sell individually as frames only.
You mean that includes the lenses? Because I ain't popping any lenses out.
Of course.
And there's some scratching on the frames and on the arms of the glasses too. I mean, not every pair, but some of them there are. Remember, this was in one just bundle. They're all kind of just thrown together.
They were in a really bad jumble F into a box.
Josh says concierge was one of the last nice things. Boo. Duncan says apparently now eBay reps can't remove negs for no matter what reasons. You have to use the EI feedback removal form and always get declined for the removal. Well, that's true and not true at the same time. I had one a couple weeks ago. I have a bookmark in my browser saved for that tool. It's the feedback removal tool. And you go in and you have to select the reason why you're requesting the feedback removal. Of course, it'll show you a list of any of the items that have a negative feedback within the last 60 days. You select that, select why you're requesting a removal, and you got to have eBay policy kind of behind you in most cases. Now, if it's someone that's wanting a partial refund, you decline. No, we don't give partial refunds. They hit you with the negative. Maybe there's other reasons why, let's say the package arrived late, you shipped it out on time, not your fault. Buyers will leave a negative. Something like that. Point to the correct one and really give a detailed reason as to why this negative should be removed, and try whenever you can to point to policy and how policy was violated. Like, buyer is asking for a partial refund, which is the same as them asking for something that's different than the terms of the sale. And if you kind of point it in that direction, you can get it removed. I did it that way and it came off within 8 hours. So it's not a losing proposition. There is still a chance for some success. It's just a little bit harder. And then and only then can you try to dispute it, but that really requires you to reach out to do that through, I believe it's the dispute department. Paul Rose says, they ended my concierge out of the blue about 2 years ago. They dropped a lot of people then, apparently for cost-cutting reasons. That's exactly why.
Duncan wants tacos.
Duncan wants tacos, but it's not Tuesday. Baubles Blings.
Tacos are good every day of the week, in my opinion.
Now, I got a question. How are tacos in Australia? I could just imagine it's not quite the same as tacos here in the Southwest.
No.
If you use
there's
beetroot,
even a difference between California and Nevada.
Yeah, you guys like beetroot on your hamburgers and
Beetroot?
Yes, they put beetroot at Macca's. For anyone who knows, Macca's is the same as McDonald's, but they just do some weird stuff to their food. Guy Drew says, maybe there's a way to trick the AI until it learns better. I think I wouldn't. I mean, whatever you can do to make it work, but the AI is always learning. Lisa says, I believe the concierge being gone is true. There's been experiences talked about that support those days are over. Yeah. At least in the current climate, eBay is cutting costs, and those are U.S. reps, by the way. They're not, the concierge is not anyone in the Philippines. Those Philippine reps are still there, and they haven't been cut over there because they're not making hardly anything compared to a U.S. rep. Todd says, how long will it take John to see Pete is here? I always know Pete is here. Pete is lurking. He always lurks. So hello to you, and thank you for the super chat, and hello to Pete in advance before I get to his comment. Guy Guru says, I don't trust anyone that would kick me out of their Facebook flipping group because I said Phoebe hated Rockstar ever since. Lame. LOL. Yeah, I could see groups kicking you out for being nasty to somebody. I could see even in their terms of service, if you have a channel, like there's one that I frequent a lot and I try to help people out there. One of the rules is you can't talk about your channel. If you have a channel, don't promote things like that. And they're really, if it's within their terms and conditions, then it is what it is. It's fair game. Mike Gerda says, why use eBay account managers when you have Tekken? I think he is a wealth of knowledge. I really do. I do listen to some of the things that he says. But with that said, not everyone is perfect. We all can learn and do better. And it's just take bits and pieces of the things that particular creator does well and try to apply it to what you're doing. Biff Boffo says, the YouTubers who are pursuing the eBay terms and conditions for conspiracies and scare tactics are taking it too far for content. They are. And the sad thing is that people are unsuspecting, going, oh, wow, well, I heard, eBay is really trying to get the sellers, and it's even here in writing. And, it's eBay has a law team, just like every corporation where we work. Anything we did had to get run by the legal team. Well, the legal team. Mm-hmm. And the legal team would look over it with a fine-tooth comb, kick it back, saying, okay, we can't do this. You need to change this. And then finally they'd say, okay, this is legal. We can do it. And there's no way that eBay can just willy-nilly say, you know what? We're going to take your listing from zero promoted, and we're going to use a suggested rate on these people just because we want to make more money. You know, they would get into so much trouble for doing that. It's not a thing. Tommy says, it's like when YouTubers say their listings disappear. Well, they disappear, and eBay has actually said in some cases we can throttle or not show your listing if it violates certain terms and conditions. Mad Hatter Boutique says, happy Friday, get well soon, John and Jenna. Sales are steady. Enjoy the storm coming our way. 4 days in a row of rain here in the Orange County.
Yeah.
When you don't get it a whole lot throughout the year, it's not that big of a deal. I do enjoy the rain. When it gets in the way of me playing golf, then I get a little irritated. Paul Rose says, crickets today, though, on both accounts, nada. Had to call in yesterday early and at first got live chat. Callbacks currently unavailable. Wonder if that will get more common. It'll probably get more common. Companies are focused on trying to make things self-service. The problem is when you need someone, it's more than just the basic stuff you can find and help and contact. It's usually a situation that requires someone to look at it that'll probably have to put you on hold to get an expert to step in to help. But these companies want to save money, and that's just one way to do it. Let's see. Victor says, being dehydrated can cause a bad migraine. I hadn't eaten it at all until I didn't eat until like 1:30. No, it was like 1:30.
Yeah, and he eats breakfast every single morning.
Yeah.
I'm not a breakfast person, but
yeah,
I drink so much water that I should be floating.
And this morning I got up and was just, getting out there. I just wanted to get some stuff. You see a bunch of sales, and to me, it motivates me. It's like, okay, grab a glass of orange juice, and I'm just going to go outside and start working. That's kind of what I did. Ping says, rained cats and dogs yesterday. Another storm coming in on Sunday. They said it's supposed to rain all day Sunday. Yeah. Devon says, John and Jenna, I hope you guys feel better. I am tired too. My husband was gone for a week. That should make you feel kind of rejuvenated, right?
No.
David Pentland from the UK, I believe, says, evening, John and Jenna in chat. I hope everyone is well. Sales are sluggish and returns are high.
Oh.
Got a great bit of feedback today. Item wasn't the best, so I reached out and offered a similar product. There you go.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Provide people, like, whenever there's problems, people, I find in my 30 years of dealing with customers, 26 at my career, customers don't like to be told, well, this is the only way we can handle this. So for many, it's like, open a return. I'm done with it. If you give them options, you'll be surprised. Sometimes they don't want to deal with a return. If you made a mistake, maybe giving a partial refund is the option, or an alternative product. That would also suffice. Remember, whenever you're dealing with an upset customer or a disappointed customer, if you cause that disappointment because you didn't disclose a defect, maybe you didn't mark the listing properly. We all make mistakes. You want to do what you can above and beyond what you would normally do for someone who's just like, I changed my mind. That's just good customer service. Duncan says, I'd never wake up if I had a migraine. I would sleep it off till I felt 100%.
Oh, man.
Well, I laid down for 20 minutes.
All the time then.
Yeah, I felt a little bit better when I got up, but I'm still kind of not feeling a lot of energy. But you know what? I feel better now than I did, say, 30, 40 minutes ago when we started this. So who knows? Maybe it's my meal and my drink that I'm drinking. Paul Rose says, has been terrible weather here in the UK all year so far, blowing a gale and throwing it down now. Took half my front fence down the other week.
Oh,
wow.
No.
That's not good. Sammy Hall's with us, says, it was beautiful yesterday in the UK, sunny. I love days like that. Mm-hmm. So you guys are in two different parts of the UK, apparently. Andy Reno says, Indiana in the house. Yes, thanks for being here.
With an A.
And Roman says, Tommy hit the like button and magically relocated to Papua New Guinea. And I think we're going to have a guest named Roman on Mondays. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. So look forward to that. Harlan Braley says, hi from Maine. Thanks for being here, Harlan. Paul missed the very start of the stream. Take it, you guys are under the weather. Get well soon. Just like migraines.
Just
migraines, not feeling well.
And it's weather change, and It's just whatever. It's my normal life.
Perfectly Blessed says, missed the first part of the combo. Guess I will be part of the rewatch crew. Yeah. But, be part of the live chat here and then go back and check the first 10 minutes. It's usually 10 minutes that I'm doing my little diatribe. Fierce Monkey Biz says, I can't believe I wasn't subscribed. I must have done it. Signed in my account. Everyone check for subscribe. I've heard that. You're not the only person that says, hey, you know what? I'm not getting notifications and I'm not subscribed. So do me a favor, guys. Even if you never considered subscribing to this channel, if you like the content, you like the community, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so that you're notified when we go live and not just finding out about it when you go looking at YouTube. Spiri of Manu. I think I got that. In France. Hello. That's awesome.
Hello.
Au revoir? No.
That's bye.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not doing au revoir yet. Paul Rose says, hi, Tommy. Sorry, pal. And I took three years of French in high school. That's horrible.
Certainly didn't stick.
I didn't. I was not focused.
I took 1 year.
Paul Rose says, hi, Tommy. Sorry, pal, but I didn't recognize the name. But I can assure you all the politicians are on top of their game and we have nothing to worry about. LOL. Jovial says, barometric pressure changes can cause headaches.
Yeah.
Could be. Let's see. Duncan says, eBay means not requiring a job, having enough to pay the bills and save some money. That's the aim for me. No boss. I'll never work for anyone else again. Been there, done that. Too stressful. Yeah. And that's the goal, right? It's how do we make this thing work so we never have to do that? Now, for some, it's easier than others. I get it. But you should, even if you have to go back to working part-time, you should still try to strive to make your eBay work so that at some point you can return back to doing it full-time. Maya says, the people who know they're getting refunds probably filed right away because they need the money.
Yep.
And we might be seeing some of that, right? I don't know when the earliest they're opening up the filing, and if they've already opened up the filing, like the e-file, how long it takes for them to actually refund that money into people's accounts. I thought it was always like mid-February before we saw people getting their money. Paul Rose says, Tommy just clicked, use the watch Zahir's videos. Not seen one for a while though. Seems like a great guy. Who is Zahir? I have no idea. Anytime Picker says, Todd, don't forget teeth are important, so don't lose them. we have Craigslist Hunter with us. Thanks for being here, Pete. Awesome to always see you, and saw you on the Resellers Locker Room podcast, and looks like you guys had a good time. Guy Guru, you can get a tax refund loan at a lot of those tax chain places. Yeah, the H&R Block or whatever, where they go in and give you a loan, and the agreement is they take a percentage of your expected money. What is that called? A tax advance or something like that? Yeah. Andy Reno says, did somebody say tickle my fancy? Here we go. Thomas says, Paul, I love Zahir. Wish he had time to put out content. Don't know who this Zahir is. Duncan VR, no, I didn't hit the like yet. I get enough sales already. No more sales today, please.
Duncan's tired. He needs a break.
Mike says, I've had a fair number of repeat sales, and even more buyers have said in feedback that they'll buy from me again. I figure that the coupon may encourage them.
That's nice.
Yeah, give them an incentive to come back for sure. But if you're providing good customer service and you've delivered a quality experience, that is usually enough to get them to come back. Let's see. Yeah, you don't want to hit the like button twice. Perfectly Blessed. When you hit the like button an even amount of times, it wipes out.
Gotta do it 3 times.
Yeah, it's like it's an off and on button kind of thing. Tommy says, must be new guide. I've never seen it either. What are we missing here? Oh, Guy Guru says, I didn't know you could like a super chat.
I didn't know either, and that's why I clicked on Todd's, because I was like, what? I didn't know that could be done.
They're adding different things all the time.
Yeah.
Guy Guru says, I wonder if we would get an extra sale for those likes. We'll see, won't we? You'll report it to us on Monday.
Let us know.
Vernon Bach says, sales picked up on eBay this week. I've seen it, and I'd like to think it's not just was going to happen anyway if I would just sat on my butt doing the same thing. I think with the additional listings we're doing on both accounts, changing some of the business policies that were maybe causing buyers to say, shipping's too high. All those things I really think have made a difference. Geiger says, I've sold a remote for $80 once. There are some Bolo remotes. There are. And that's why, use your tools, use your, you don't have access to Terapeak, but of course you can go on to your solds the last 90 days and get an idea if there's any value there. What do we got here? Larry Todd, don't like the super chat or else. Jeez. You guys, but thank you, Larry. Todd. Thank you, Todd. His super chat game is strong. I'll tell you that. And I think I goofed here.
Oh, go down. Right there.
Okay, here we go. No, I've got to go down here a little bit. We got Rhiannon. Hello, J&J and friends.
Hello, Rhiannon.
Tommy says, I swear I got an email just a couple weeks ago trying to sell me on concierge.
Sell you?
Well,
I don't think you can
I haven't seen that
concierge service.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Duncan says concierge gone in Australia a while back. No more in US either. Interesting. Hey, there he is. Ken, No One Design.
Ken, your ears must have been burning because we've been talking about you.
I thought I said something that may have ticked you off or something, but obviously not. Or you have a short memory. I may have pissed you off and you came back and just forgot. And so now that I said that, you might disappear again. Like, oh yeah, I forgot I wasn't going to look at his channel anymore. But thanks for being here. Says, I've heard John got some meatballs and underwear from some college kids. I don't know how to feel about that. But you knew about that when it was happening.
You knew all along. You just didn't know the extent of it.
Nick Picker says, sell individually as frames only about those glasses. Yeah. But will I get more individually than I will as a lot? And then if I sell them as a lot, knowing that some of these glasses, if they're in better condition, would sell for over $100, like the Louis Vuitton, easily would be a couple $100. So, where do I start pricing those things? That's another thing, especially there's not a lot of comps for that particular model pair of sunglasses. Guide Guru says, yeah, I agree. Auction got to be the way to go, individual, in my opinion. Okay. Maya says, John, if you have enough of them, you could send them to consignment like the real deal. You could ask
the real.
You could ask J Ride what he does. I know he sells frames only. Mm-hmm. So that's a good point. So what I'll do is I know his store. So I'll go check out his store. I'll check out his 90-day comps just to see what he's done with similar pairs. Because it's good to know. I'm going to be selling sunglasses here. I believe I'm going to be selling sunglasses here for some period of time because that person at the yard sale, I'm going to be buying up their stuff. In fact, I'm going to make it a point to be one of the first ones, and even maybe try to do something on the side to say, hey, call me when you get more of these in.
Get business. We've been saying it
talking
for
to Mike about
2 years.
Yeah. Let's see. Jeez. Todd says, okay, all that like the last super chat are doomed. Oh, man. Thank you, though. I appreciate the super chat. Let's see. Maya says, John, if you have enough of them, you can do consignment. Maya says, I think you need to authenticate before you list them anywhere other than sending to consignment. But isn't there a price point? Like with shoes, I know it's like $75 or more. It goes to authentication. But if it's, let's say I put those up for $50, because they do have some damages, some scratching. So I can't really sell them for $100, $150, $200 if they're in that condition. Jovial says, sell them as frames only. When lenses are scratched to CYA brand will sell.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick says, yes, leave the lens in, but list as frames only. Mm-hmm. Lazra M. Nair. Okay. Custom.
I think it's Ryan Marshall.
Oh, you're one of those Ford Pinto guys. Ryan Marshall says, custom scratch design is the new hype. Custom scratch design. Okay.
Oh, the glasses.
Custom. I have to write that down. Custom, because I will forget it. I'm like, what did they say? Custom, and I hope you're not kidding. Custom scratch. He is?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to look for that anyway. Maybe we can start something here. Silver Hair says, piece by piece on the sunglasses, got to look at the comps. Fierce Monkey Biz is auction a lot, even individual. I would put them on auction as a lot. They will get a lot of attention. So there's a different perspective.
Yeah.
Maybe put them up, give them a solid week individually. And if I don't get a whole lot of luck, then just lot them up. That might be the plan. Guide says, a place like the Real will authenticate it. David Pentland says, I sell scratch designer sunglasses from the lost luggage. I get 100 pounds for Gucci scratched. I always sell them individually. Now,
wow.
Question about Gucci. You want to talk to him real quick? Let me go grab that pair of these real quick.
What, do we have Gucci?
I don't know.
He also thinks, he thinks we have Gucci. What was the other one? I don't recall. But he named all these brands, and when I went through them, I didn't see those brands.
Now, anyone familiar with a brand that goes by GG? And that's the pair. Of course, I tried to do comps and nothing comes up for this thing. And I don't like the way they look on here. They don't look so hot right there. But when you look
they're very heavy. They're
very heavy. And then I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this at all, but I'll try. Yeah, you're probably not because that's stupid sign. So you see right there, right above my hat there, it says GG. There it is. GG.
You have to put your hand like this. And you have to hold, there it goes. It did it for a second.
Okay. Well, it says GG and it says trademark.
GG Guide Guru.
And yeah, Guide Guru made these. So I don't know what to think. I don't know what to call these. I don't know what you guys think of them. So let me know in the chat.
Ryan says those are knockoffs.
Knockoffs? Now remember, these came out of repossessed cars, so people could buy the knockoffs and just this is what they were sporting.
But they have to have a, wow.
They're not mine.
They're not really your look,
no?
honey.
What do you guys think? They have good heft to them.
Made in China is good. Gucci's not made in China.
Well, there you go. I didn't even notice that. Okay. Dan Cruz says it's like worn jeans, but for sunglasses. Guy Guru, yeah, I know. I mean, if he puts them on eBay, even in a lot. He could also bring the LV to the LV store to see they would charge to repair them. That's a good idea. I know you guys mentioned that before, and I just, is it worth taking a trip? Maybe we go take a trip.
Oh God, no! It's on the strip. I'm not doing
Is it on the strip?
You can go by yourself.
Yeah. Well, then I'll have to go gamble, and then I'll lose the money that I would have made for the glasses. Paul says, I think it'll be better to sell them as is and declare the scratch. That way there's no comeback. They could still do well.
Yeah.
That's certainly, but see, the thing is, because I don't believe in no returns, I know that that's kind of what you do with parts of repair. People still can file an INAD, even if you're very clear as to what's in wrong with the item. Rihanna wants tacos now.
I could eat tacos every day. I love
Ken
tacos.
says, isn't tacos made upside down in Australia? It's like, why is everything in my lap? Tommy says, I had a negative remove last week. Buyer canceled order, tried to send offer for lesser amount. I declined and blocked. They left negative, was removed within hours using the removal tool. Yeah. And I think because they cancel, they're trying to manipulate you into getting a lower price in the sale. So good on eBay for taking care of it. But, I think sometimes, and I'll say this, people won't be so happy about it, but sometimes the negative feedback could be deserving for some, and we don't like the negative. It hurts our account. We want it off. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't at least try to get it removed, but in the cases where, maybe you should have been a little bit more attentive, maybe you should have been a little bit more proactive with your customer service and tried to offer a remedy, and not just let the buyer stew over it and still waiting to hear from you because you didn't respond to your email. I think sometimes those negatives are warranted. And, it sucks when eBay won't take them off, but eBay's got to, and I don't know if AI is doing it. I have a feeling that they are, but eBay's got to have some kind of standards to either remove or keep those negatives. It sucks though. Ryan Marshall says, I got scammed by bargain buys outlets. eBay did absolutely nothing. I have a video on my YouTube. Well, go check out Backwards Ryan Marshall whenever you guys get a chance to. Noah Design says, I went to Tommy's seminar for promotion ads, first edition. Learned a lot.
Feet edition.
What?
You said
feed
first.
edition.
It's
feed edition. My mind just processing it too fast.
Trying to read it so fast.
Paul Rose says, had a buyer message to say he couldn't send me an offer and I couldn't send him one on the reply. Sorted it out by adjusting the listing and got the sale. But how many don't message, so you never know?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. How many people? I know that was talking to Josh, and he probably would have spoken about this today had he decided to do a live. But he received an email yesterday from a buyer saying, hey, I sent you some offers on some items. Did you get them? And it's like, that's a concern. If that's really a thing, I would respond to buyers saying, no, I haven't received your offers. If you can go in, well, first of all, what are you offering? And second, if that number is acceptable, go in and just buy it at full price. And I'll go ahead and give you a difference back between the offer and the price that I'm selling it for. That's, to me, the best way to handle that situation. But how widespread is that? How many buyers are being turned away because they're having issues on their side? That's always been a question of mine. Roman says, Ken, thanks for letting me know to sign up for Tommy's seminar. Yes. And I agree with this statement 100%. I have no idea what you just said.
That's Tommy's mom. So
what? Right here?
Yeah, Tommy said that's his mom.
Oh, okay. I know that's kind of rude.
I already
okay. Down. Andy says, I used, maybe that's a Temu advertisement. Maybe we need to get that off. Andy says, I used the feedback removal tool a little while ago, and I was told they could not remove the feedback, and then 2 days later it was gone.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Ken says, Tommy sure did. There is no short supply in the crackhead workforce. Tommy says, Jenna, that was my mom. You hid, bless her heart. Sawtooth Outpost, the buyer left me blatant feedback extortion, feedback on the feedback and in message. Dealt with this the last 2 days. eBay won't take it off. I would, of course, go in, and of course you can't really, if they've already declined you if you use the tool, but it really is pointing to policy. Buyer violated eBay's policy here, and explain how they violated the policy. Please look at the messages. Now, that's why I believe it could be an AI looking at it, but I had someone that messaged me. They told me that they told in the little box you had to type in to get it removed, they told eBay to take a look at the messages and look at what the buyer was demanding. They got it removed. So it may be a bot that looks at it initially and maybe weeds out the good ones from the bad. It gets sent to a team that actually looks at it. I don't know. But obviously it's looking at more than just a request. Ping says, Jenna, I didn't know you could read Chinese. Ping, what did it say? If you know Chinese, I don't know if I'm just assuming that you do since you mentioned it, but I'd like to know what they said.
Nope, I don't read Chinese.
Maya says, wow, the FAE like button really works. I've made 3 sales on Poshmark since the start of the live.
Yes. Yeah, and that's another thing. The servers must be really working in our area because I'm getting lots of Poshmark sales, lots of eBay, and even Mercari. So the servers over for Las Vegas are working great.
And we even sold a pair of tortillas on Mercari. Yeah, on Mercari.
Yeah.
I say a pair of tortillas. Really one tortilla, but they come in pairs. You guys should know that by now. Guy Greer said, yes, sometimes a partial is more expensive without the fee refund. John taught me this. Paul Rose says, I could really do with some crackheads myself. Tired of doing everything myself. Yeah. But I just don't want the overhead. I don't
want the overhead, but I would love to see some get like maybe during the summer we can hire like a kid, like the neighbor kid across the street. Just hire him to test things.
That kid's like 10 years old.
He is smart
No,
as
no,
a whip.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
He is smart. He's not 10.
Well,
I think he's 13.
Okay.
But he's smart as a whip.
Okay. Well, I'm not there yet. Todd says, what? Roman on Monday? Weird, but cool. Well, here's the challenge. He's going to actually have to have a serious conversation. And so let's see how that works
out. He's been going real serious and being real professional the last couple of weeks with his lives. I have to say.
We've allowed him to practice on his channel for
He's
for
learned
months
how
now.
to hold his tongue and how to let the guests talk. And it's crazy. It's like a whole new Roman.
But it'll be a fun time, that's for sure. Guy says, hit the bell if you will to get 7 sales.
7 sales.
Now
7
that's sales.
We don't guarantee 7.
Thomas has hit the heart 5 times for a sale. I don't know what this heart is. What's the heart as compared to the like button? I mean, what is that?
This heart.
I understand. What's the point? What does that do?
It gives you a heart.
That's ridiculous.
And you can't see it because you're on StreamYard.
Yeah. And then I got a friend blowing up my phone because he's
that?
gambling. No, it's my friend Tim.
Oh.
He keeps sending me messages throughout the week showing me how much he's won on roulette and stuff instead of working.
He's been
playing
doing
online.
an awful lot of gambling lately.
Bill Miller says hi. Well, hi, Bill.
Hi.
And I think he has a question. We'll
No
get to that here in a
relation.
second. Yeah, there's a lot of us Millers out there. But thanks for being here. I'll check out your question here down below. Larry Todd says, right, Lissa, gotta wonder which planet Roman grew up on. Chastity filed her taxes last night.
Mm-hmm.
Bill says, I have a question regarding starting an eBay store. All right, fire away. We're ready for it. No designs to Todd. For some odd reason, I read that as Pudo. Weird. Okay. Bill says, any advice on getting started for those who need suggestions? Well, getting started. Go ahead.
Your money is in the buy.
Well, I agree with that. That's the number one rule. But if you're just doing this to get started, don't buy a single thing to resell.
Go through your house.
Yes. So if you have stuff that you would possibly put on a yard sale, well, go in and look up comps. So start learning the platform before you even list. So go in, do a search on, your item. Let's say these Gucci, non-Gucci, whatever, right? So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can go on, type in what it is if you have a way of identifying it into search, and then down the left side on the PC, you want to click on sold and completed. Now, if you're on the app, you want to go into your filter and click on sold completed, and then just look to see how many times that item sold in the last 90 days and how much it sold for. And that'll give you an idea where to start to list that item. If it's something that's not on that list, chances are you either typed in what it is incorrectly or it's not worth selling. If you cannot find it or cannot come up with, I don't even know what this is, you can do a Google lens to identify it and then use that title for that item in an eBay search. And then just go through all your stuff, create a pile of stuff that has value, and then open up a seller's account and just get to work and see how it works out for you.
Be consistent.
If it works out, take that same money that was you've accrued from selling those items and apply it towards buying stuff at a yard sale, flea market, thrift store, that type of thing. And always use that model of looking it up before you buy it. I don't care how cute or cool it looks. If it does not show up in your sold comps, pass on it. Andy says, my goal is to file taxes before April 14th. Yeah.
That's our goal too.
Yep. I'm not sure how much we're going to owe this year, but
it's never a fun time.
It's a nice number.
It's not a nice
It's
number.
in the 5 digits probably.
Yeah, it's never a nice number.
Let's see. Chastity says, I had to pay Fed, but getting a state refund. Well, that's the good thing about Nevada. We don't have to deal with state taxes
here. We don't have state taxes.
Thrifty Mama, hello from Pennsylvania. Just now tuning in. Well, thanks for being here.
Welcome.
Awesome. Good to see you. Bill says, can you give me suggestions, advice on getting started? Well, I did. That's probably the best advice I can give. And go through that process and see if it works. You know, reselling isn't for everyone. Actually, I have a video I might be making here pretty soon talking about the things that you really need to have in place within your own work ethic to make reselling work. And unfortunately, some people, while they want to be their own boss, don't have the level of self-motivation and drive to really make this work, and they need a boss. I hate to say that, but that's just the reality. Some of us need a boss. We just don't get going.
I don't need a boss. You shut your mouth right now.
Okay, I'll move on. Ryan says, Jay, is IC3 helpful when eBay is not doing their job? IC3.gov is kind of a joke. You know, we file IC3.gov because at one point eBay, as you know, was stating to me that, hey, if you get scammed, you can file a fraud complaint and then give you a number associated with the complaint. It's just an internet fraud complaint. And then you take it to eBay. And I've had it happen to where they're like, okay, we're just going to give you a refund and we're going to refund the buyer too. It sucks when that happens because you don't want to see the buyer get anything when they pull a scam, because it just encourages the behavior. But I have never received anything from IC3.gov as a result of filing a complaint. So it's, I think, kind of a joke right now. It's
maybe I should wear these when I'm trying to tell you what to do during the day.
Why?
Because I look like a boss.
Okay. You sure about that? I haven't had any boss that looked like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Andy says, did someone say
your bosses have always been pulled from the sewer?
I can't say that. I've had some pretty good bosses that were nice people. They had some nice people, but unfortunately, they didn't know the business as well as they should have. Andy says, did someone say use your tools? Yes. Paul Rose has sold a 1987 tarot card box set, new with sealed tarot. Okay, well, tarot. For 135 pounds plus.
He's getting on my last nerve.
GSP a couple of days ago. Bolo for vintage. See, that's more tarot to me. Tarot sets. Michael says, I'm from the UK. I sell brand new remotes. Huge sale volume. Yes, people lose their remotes. To me, though,
there's not enough juice for the squeeze.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if I came across a big tote of them and they wanted $10 for the entire tote, and I'm looking through, seeing a bunch that comp for $10+ plus shipping, I would go with it. But really, because you're looking at 25 cents per item, that's a thing that people need because people lose them all the time. So it makes sense to go with something like that. Ren, thanks for being here. Hello all. I found a tarot deck. That makes you happy. In Italian, I believe. Need to get it listed. Yeah, check the comps on that. You might have something there. Anytime Roman says hit the like button on Todd's super chat. Dark Horse Production says no luck on my laptop. I suppose I'll take my drive out and relist new for $25 on eBay just so it goes to a good home. Roman says Todd hit the like button and automatically sent 100 super chats. Ken says, despite popular belief, I do work 3 times out of the year. Plus I had to train some new crackheads, took up some of my YouTube watch time. I was wondering where you're at.
We were.
Dark Horse says, I would send it to recycling, but it cost me money to recycle it. I didn't expect much. The laptop is very old. Yeah, you may not get a whole lot of demand on that. We have Shane says, what's going on, FAE fam? Hello, John and Jenna. Well, thanks for being here, Shane. We've Anytime Picker smiling. And they're saying those glasses were knockoffs, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gravity Goods says, Gravity Goods, I bedazzled the F out of those cheap shades. Yeah, they just didn't look right to me, but that's why I mentioned it.
Well, they're so heavy. They're so heavy.
You know what does it for me?
For glasses.
You know what does it for me? I mean, the fronts, they look okay. I can deal with the way those look at the front, but this looks like costume jewelry the way it looks on the back. You guys see that? How it's just like that same. It doesn't. There's no branding on the inside. It's just cheap looking. That's why even if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even have questioned it. But I've not heard of a brand that uses GG other than Gucci, right?
But Gucci's only 1G.
But I've seen GG before. And am I wrong with that? Is Gucci, the brand Gucci, 1G or 2Gs? I just have this feeling it's 2Gs. Devon says Gucci will have it engraved on the lens unless vintage.
Engraved on the lens. Well, there ain't nothing on the lens but a bunch of fingerprints.
Jovial says Elton is in the house.
That's right.
Who's Elton?
You.
Oh, I thought Elton was watching. I was like, how do you know?
You couldn't get that lucky.
Nick says you should just keep them. They look good on you. Ashley says those are knockoffs for sure. Let's see. Todd says, how can a buyer send a negative for a canceled order? They can send a negative for anything, but
which is bold.
Yeah, but you got to be on top of your account and have that removed. Jay Corona says, hello again. Well, thanks for being here.
Hello.
Awesome. Ping G says a buyer is not supposed to be able to send a negative for a canceled transaction, but maybe the buyer did it before the eBay software can prevent it. I don't know if there's anything in place that will prevent it. I just know that buyers have done it before, and it's certainly going to get removed. Get it removed, and just state the buyer didn't even buy my item. They canceled it. They asked to cancel it, and they left me a negative. I've had that happen before, and they'll remove it. Ryan says, I would appreciate if you checked it, John. I would really like your opinion on what I should do.
He's being serious. He wants you to look at his video.
I will. I'll check it out. But is it the same?
Is it the same username, Ryan?
Lazram Nayar?
Ryan Marshall? Is your channel under the same username?
Ashley Sims says, I personally would look up each frame up, make a lot pile, list individual, make sure any high-end brand is not counterfeit. I wouldn't even put those in lots. Right. I agree. And that's a tough thing about these kind of lots. Someone could have gone to, New York City at the corner of 5th Avenue and something else and grabbed these pair of cheapos that have Versace on it. I think the Versace ones look real, and for $20, and got their car repoed, and here it is in the lot that I'm picking up, and I'm unsure. Yeah. Josh says the offers came through this afternoon. Well, awesome. Always good to have that work out for you, even though it was a day late. That's just really strange. I mean, what's a buyer to do? They buy from you, they send an offer, right? They don't hear anything from you. And then they say, well, I guess I'll go somewhere else. They buy it from someone else, and then you're accepting their offer the next day. That's not good. Jerry's with us. I'm having a barbecue spare ribs and baked potato.
Ooh,
there you go.
That's right up John's alley.
I was about to say, if you say that sounds good, you're eating the ribs that I made.
No, I'm not.
Josh Galt says, I had a big sales flurry and a bunch of offers all came in late this afternoon at once.
Good. I hope they were good offers.
Yeah, hopefully this weekend continue. I count Friday through Sunday as the weekend, so let's hopefully continue this weekend surge. Paul Rose says, on the flip side, as a buyer, I left only my second negative deserved in 19 years after a month-long nightmare. Checked the next day and it was gone, even with it, though he had 96%. So I'm wondering if there's something you said in that negative that gave them ammunition to get it removed. So there's a lot of things that could go there. So maybe just as a buyer, if you're ever leaving a negative, just keep it simple and, not necessarily go into all the details, because that one little detail you included could have given him the ammunition to say, this buyer violated policy. Bama says, good evening, everyone. Well, thanks for being here, Josh.
Josh.
Brenda Smith says, I recently have had send offer to buyer, then when I open, no offers to be sent. Yeah, that happens because I get that almost on a daily basis. That's if you're not on that offer, like when they, you have an option to send an offer to a buyer, right? Or offer to a potential watcher. That's been sitting there for a while. And let's say they're looking at different sellers and other sellers have sent offers. You can only receive so many offers as a buyer. They don't want buyers to be inundated with just offer after offer after offer. So they cap the number of offers a buyer can receive. So when you're late to the game on that and others have sent offers to that buyer, it's going to say no eligible buyers can receive this offer, and it'll go away. So that's another reason why you really want to stay on top of it and send your offers as soon as you can. Ryan said, the two of you do a great job show. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Brian Barrett says, "Hey everyone, I hope you all have had a very prosperous week." So far.
This week has been better than the last couple.
I agree. eBay doesn't follow their own policies, and
that is a fact.
It's happened many, many times. You know, Midwest Picker says GG poker glasses. I know GG is a poker brand.
Oh no, it's CG, isn't it? Oh,
I don't know if that's a C though.
Coco Chanel.
Okay. Ashley says, we use the frame, not the lens. If it's a very cheap knockoff, I will refuse sometimes. They aren't made to have lenses popped in and out and will snap. Okay. Andy Someta. I don't know what that is. Coughing?
That's how he's telling you he's here.
Oh, okay.
He's clearing his throat.
Okay. Ping G says, I can recognize.
I don't know.
I can recognize Chinese characters in a few words, but I don't read Chinese. Okay. I was hoping you did because I want to know what they said. Rain Galaro says, going through my inventory today, I've come across many listings with no shipping charges. Anyone else ever had this problem? I know we didn't just not put in a shipping charge on that many.
Oh, wow.
You know what I've noticed?
We've had that happen before.
Okay, here's the thing.
Something similar.
On the app, if you, let's say, launched a free shipping item, let's say you have a shipping policy for free shipping, and you launch that, and you then go in and create another listing, it may default on your next item you're creating free shipping. So you have to go in and check that, because I've had it happen to where it launched free shipping that way, all because I didn't check before I launched it. So always check. No Designs Agenda. Don't hire smart kids. Your ROI will drop. You need purebred crackhead. Andy says, I go through my like videos to delete them. So many videos. Yeah. Ashley says, and sunglasses left in cars that are plastic base will warp and dry out, a little pressure and snap. It's broken. Yeah, we put that in the miscellaneous lot that we already sold. Let's see. Donald says, hello from New Orleans. Mardi Gras season here. Well, thanks, Donald, for being here. Nice to see you. Ashley says, hey, John, if you're having a frequent headaches, get your eyes checked. Well, I guess it's obvious that I probably should get my eyes checked because, I'm like, reading the words that aren't there. I probably should be wearing my contacts right now. I just didn't throw them on. I wear contacts. I go to the eye doctor every year. Have a eye doctor I've seen the last 20 years. I'll travel to California to go to this eye doctor because they know my history and they are in tune with what's going on with my eyes. And it just worked out well that way. It's that I'm not wearing my contacts. I should be right now. That's part of the reason, but it's the stupid wisdom tooth that I need to get pulled is part of the reason too. It's causing me all kinds of problems. Let's see. Thrifty Mama says, I didn't realize people are so ignorant till I started reselling. Can't believe I can't get feedback removed now. I'm not worried about it because the item still sold with the negative feedback. If you can't get negative feedback removed, it's not the end of the world. Put in a professional. I've seen many, and why do people keep ringing my doorbell? I've seen many people that have received negative feedback and they leave a snarky reply. Now, what's the point of that? You feel better about it? You'd be better off leaving a snarky, just sending a message to the buyer, saying what's on your mind, than leaving a snarky reply to negative feedback. Put as a professional reply in your feedback as you can, and in a way where the person that's your next potential buyer is reading it won't be turned off by the negative feedback. So they'll read the negative feedback, they'll go, oh wow, what's that about? And then they'll see your reply and go, oh, okay, they don't seem to be all that bad. And buyers do consider that. Who's ringing the doorbell twice?
Twice?
Yeah, it rang twice. It rang again.
When?
Just now. Josh says, Jenna, now you can read ahead on the comments. No one will know. No One Designs says, Ryan, be careful. John might share the link backwards. Yeah. Tommy says, one person bad-mouthing a seller that no one knows about, the whole story is pointless. Steve Poste says, who's that star in those fancy sunglasses? Spam says, oops, making typos. You're pulled from the sewer made me spit out my water. And
sorry.
Guide says, yes, you can totally respond to the feedback. Buyers will see it. Most people don't read the feedback anyways. Most people, I'd like to think most people don't, but if anyone's like me, I'm checking the seller. I'm checking the reviews on the item. I don't want to have any problems when I receive it. Tommy says the buyer can definitely send a negative for seller canceled. Yep. And then Josh says Gucci has a GG monogram print, but the second G is upside down and backwards.
That's what
okay. Geiger says, I've heard of people getting feedback removed because they mentioned a gender, such as he didn't resolve my problem under included personal details. Well, then let's play that game. That's a good one. I was misgendered. That would be good.
What?
Well, just to say,
I've heard of people getting feedback.
Yeah.
Mention a gender.
Yeah, I was misgendered. This has to go.
Get out of here.
Ryan Marshall says they can set the lowest level of offer accepted as well. Josh, has anyone noticed that they added verified purchase to all the feedback? No, I haven't noticed that. And did they have an issue with people leaving fake feedback? I don't know about fake. I just think some buyers just don't give the seller a true chance. They just go in and leave a negative because they're feeling nasty. And I guess they feel good about themselves to do it. I mean, there's really no real reason to leave negative unless you've tried to work with that seller and you still aren't happy. Ryan says, so if your offer is lower than the threshold, it'll auto decline. Yeah, and that I don't have that set. I think that anytime that you can actually interact with your buyer, even if it's just a 5% chance you can convert the sale, it's worth doing if you can. So I'd leave that off, that auto decline off. Maya says, funny thing happened on eBay today. I woke up and a buyer had just sent an offer. I went to it and the listing said 0 quantity. I got scared and had messed up the offer. The buyer was buying it full price. Interesting. Well, then you just ship it out. And if they say something to you, I mean, well, you never agreed to the original offer anyway. So Mac says, how long should an item stay in inventory before you liquidate it? I would say ideally 2 to 3 months. Now I'm guilty of having items in my store for 6+ months. A year. Yeah. But that's when it goes to my clearance store. We still have that. We're adding good stuff to it.
But it's not really a clearance store because I'm taking all that BS out and now we're getting sales. Yeah. So go figure.
I agree. Josh says there are billboards of John and Jenna in Shanghai, superstar celebrities in China.
Yeah, right.
Right. More like target practice on the,
Yeah.
Paul Rose's guide, I think because I was refunded, that will have been reason to remove feedback. Fact that he took up days of my time meant it was valid. Yeah. Jovial says, anyone have their sold listing search diverted to the item you searched has sold? Here's a similar listing you might be interested in, then getting an email about it the next day trying to sell. That's interesting. I haven't had that one. Thrifty Mama says, no, I wouldn't be ignorant. In my head, I didn't know you could reply to feedback. I always try to be as professional as I can. Some people are just straight up rude. They are rude, but you combat that with professionalism. And in the end, even the worst feedback can make you look good if you have a good reply to it. Simple Beautiful, hey, are you slow this month? Love the show. Well, we were slow at the beginning of the month, and I had predicted, look, beginning of the year is always historically slow for me, and then it picks up.
No, it's not.
It has been. Beginning of January has always been slow for us.
No, only that last year and this year.
I don't know.
Previous years,
just
it
tell
was
me what
good.
I remember.
Well, your memory.
I got a good memory, but it's short.
Yeah.
Guy Drew is not really misgendered, just personal information. It is one of the options to get feedback removed, I believe.
That's insane to me.
WTF on feedback gender?
Yeah.
You know what? This is the thing. Nobody is going to protect your account as a seller but you. If you can find any way, that is including, look, I was mislabeled here, or whatever you call it, misgendered. I take great offense to this. And there's no other feed or policy violation you can point to. It's worth a shot, right? No one designs is just wondering, why does John have a restaurant kiosk behind him? That's because you haven't been here.
You haven't been here.
I went out and bought that in complete setup. It had 4 monitors, so 2 for the server side and 2 for the buyer side. they all have swipes on them for credit cards. I had 3 thermal printers. I had a couple CPUs, which I can't figure out. And that's a question I might need to ask you guys. I had this thing called the Who's Calling. Some kind of a device called Who's Calling. I sold it for like $100 something bucks. But nonetheless, I got all of it in one package for $80. And I sold one of those monitors behind you, those POS devices, for $60 plus shipping. Why are you laughing now?
Because you called it a POS
It
machine.
is a POS machine.
Every time he says POS, I think of piece of...
It could be a POS machine. POS.
It's the first thing that registers in my head every time he says it.
So yeah, that's why. And so we were already made our money back on that deal. Ashley Sims says, I would rather get my wisdom teeth out again than have my eyes dilated. I did mine awake. It was super easy. Walked out with chipmunk cheeks smiling. Had this one removed. True story. When we had the severance packages, we're leaving the company. I'm like, okay, week before this insurance policy ends, I had a appointment to get these wisdom teeth taken out. And they said, sorry, we had to cancel your appointment to reschedule the next month because we had some equipment issue. And I'm like, well, I can't use this insurance next month. And so I just had to go without it. And I've been suffering ever since. It just come out of the blue.
I have talked to a few other resellers recently that have told me what we can do. So we'll explore that route.
We got Ferret Fan. I said, I wonder if adding verified purchase to every feedback means that they might open up feedback to let anyone review your store. I hope not. I mean, it's bad enough that eBay is changing feedback as we know it, or has changed feedback as we know it. If you've ever been given the opportunity to leave feedback for a purchase, it's asking you to grade the item that you received. Well, you didn't make any, unless you are selling items that you've made by hand. Well, you're not the manufacturer of a lot of the stuff that you're making. So you're just selling it. You're taking good photos. You're no different than any other vendor selling this item, but yet eBay wants the buyer to review the product. And I've had so many reviews, let's say even neutral or positive, where they're talking more about the item quality than, how was the service? I don't like that at all. Even when it's positive, I really don't care for that, because I just look at it and I'm like, I didn't make this item. You might love it, but I didn't have anything to do with that. No Design, is it only me or does "but my oral surgeon was super hot too" sound like a porn flick? Wow. Now we know what you're doing the last couple weeks. Thrifty Mama says, I had 3 returns because they didn't fit. The buyers were so rude and told or old.
No, I think there's supposed to be more.
I don't see more. Oh, okay. I'll go to that in a minute here. Dixon's Street Treasures. Do you feel like it makes a difference whether you do or don't donate to a charity when creating a listing? I accidentally somehow one time, this is years ago, the listing had that box checked, and I'm like, it was like a $50 sale. I'm like, where's my money? Like, oh, it shows you donated. I'm like, no, it wasn't a donation. And they unwound it for me because it's like, I didn't mean to donate this to nobody.
Yeah, I don't personally think that that's fair to be able to put it to a charity just by clicking a box. You don't know where your money's going, what charity it's funding, who's behind all that mess. There's no way. No, if I'm donating to a charity, I want to know who exactly it's going to.
Yeah, and some will argue that we already donate to the eBay charity when we promote, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I'm already promoting to that cause. Yeah. Ryan says, Dixon, some buyers might like that, plus you might get a write-off, LOL.
Yeah, well, not from us.
We pay enough in fees to use that. Tommy says, John, it felt was cheaper to take the Olive Garden machine off the table than paying the bill. It's like $100. No. Thrifty Mama says, I had 3 returns due to non-fit. The buyers messaged me being rude, asking if it was dumb and if I was dumb and knew how to measure. What would I do without your cross-checking here? They were measuring above the 1. Everyone knows you're supposed to start at 1.
Wow. Yeah, people are just not intelligente.
Yeah. Andy says, here's the way I professionally handle feedback. I say, you're a bleep bleep. You suck and you're a whatever. Then take a deep breath and hit delete. Then type a professional reply. Yep.
Yep. That's the way to do it.
They've always said, look, if you have to send a nasty email, type it up, but delete it and send the actual one. Josh Galt says, I had my wisdom teeth pulled. Everything was fine and lovely till about 4 hours afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, and John's a big baby, so I can only imagine.
I am not a big
when
baby.
this one gets pulled. Oh,
you know what happened here to this one. It wasn't bad at all. It was good. The only thing I don't like about going to the dentist, having that kind of work done, is when the shot or they give you starts to wear off and you feel that tingling in your face. Mm-hmm. I can't stand that.
Well, Margaret, I have a constant tingle right here.
Well, that's not has nothing to do with the dentist.
No.
Margaret says, new to eBay, 2 sales in the first week. However, fees boost, lost money. They did pay full price. Friend, look for my stuff. Can't be found. Why? I don't know. That's a good question. That's something I know. Tommy has a group of people that they look at each other's stuff, like from across country, different locations, to see if items come up. But if they're looking from it, let's say from the same the same area, same zip code, that could be part of the problem. Rag 718, hello, newbie here, just absorbing all this info. Well, awesome.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Ryan says they are verified through eBay. The charities. Yeah, I'm trying to make money. I really.
I am the charity. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I need the donation.
Hey, honey, I'm going to go get some coffee creamer.
Shut your mouth.
Honey, just get the coffee creamer. And she comes back with a bag full of crap.
It was not.
Nerds candy is crap. Anyone else object to that?
You know what? There are some times when a woman just needs some sweets. Okay?
Dixon Street Treasures.
Thank you.
That extra money on each listing would add up. So I struggle deciding whether I should donate or not. Let's see. Noah Design says, if John keeps robbing stuff from Olive Garden, there won't be a wall left behind him.
That's for sure.
You should have brought me more breadsticks then. Reef the Sea Forever says, I hit that like for a cha-ching. Yes, there you go. Thomas says, you pick the charity, it comes off of fees, then you have to submit payment to eBay. No, thank you.
No, if I'm donating to a charity, I want to be more involved than just giving out my money.
Reef the Sea Forever says, back like 15 years ago, I would get so upset on returns. Now I'm just here, so your money back. Here's your money back. Yeah, but I wouldn't get in the business of that because we're training our buyers. See, your buyer is possibly going to be my buyer in the future. My buyer is going to be this person's buyer in the future. And if we're quick to give out refunds without requiring them to return, now I'm not saying that you shouldn't give a partial or do something like that if you screwed up. So if you screwed up, they show you pictures, you could verify, hey, the listing says this, but you sent me that. Okay, that's on me. Now, you got to then, in your mind, of course, return is an option, but sometimes it doesn't make business sense to make your buyer go through the return. And in the end, you're spending way more money for that $20 return label than the item's even worth. So, sometimes you can go that route and say, you know what, I screwed up. Normally we make you return it, but I don't want you to go through that. Here's your money back. But aside from that, I think if we just take the easy route, we forget that we are training these buyers to think that, wow, that was easy. Maybe next time I can say that this is a problem and I'll get my money back from the next seller. Mm-hmm. So let's all try to use the partial refund or complete refund really carefully so that we're not setting a buyer expectation that shouldn't be there. Chastity says, has all 4 pulled last year. It was miserable for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Guy Grew says, I don't know. I've always started at 0. Maybe you're right, but I never had an issue, and I put measurement at all my clothes listings. Not saying you're wrong, though. I start at 0. So we're that.
Because that first part of the measuring tape is 1 inch.
Yeah, so like right here. So that metal part to the 1 is where it starts. I mean, if you measure it, it's where it starts.
Yes, that's telling you 1.
Right.
1.
Yeah.
Yes, and by the way, the nerds are the gummy nerds, the little balls.
Reef Seafood, we got to take care of that, man. It's not good. If you have an infection, it can go to your jaw or worse, your heart. Yeah, I know. Says, Reef says, my wife is a cardiac nurse. She always tells me that, not sure if she's trying to scare me or not, but I believe her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something I definitely need to mess with. And Kelly likes nerds, so maybe we can auction them off before you open them.
No, I already opened them.
The gummy nerd balls are amazing.
That's the ones I got.
I'll tell you what's amazing, Tommy. This is amazing with nerds. Anyone out there have a Sonic in your area?
Yeah.
You go get the slushy. We like the cherry one, and have them put nerds in it.
Or the blueberry.
It's absolutely the best slushy you'll ever have.
It's like a zinger, right in your mouth.
Zinger in your yinger. Ashley Sims says, Reef, very true. Or if they're impacted, it can crush and kill the root of neighboring teeth. Yep. That's what mine are doing to where they had to come out. Yeah. DVD BB says, any way to getting around linking a checking account if a seller much rather use a credit card. Yeah, but I believe you need that checking account in there so eBay can send the payment. As far as if you owe eBay money, let's say you do a refund, you don't have enough money in your account, they'll use that credit card or debit card to pull the money from.
Guide Guru says, hold up, John, you were just hating on nerds and now you're promoting them in your slushy.
Look, it's the same
as... They didn't say
as...
all that, but they said, hold up.
Look, I have hate for tomatoes. I have hate for tomatoes on my sandwiches, my burgers, but I love salsa. And I like stewed tomatoes in certain dishes and stuff. So it doesn't mean I hate nerds. I just think that if you say, hey, honey, I'm going to go to the store for item A, and you come back with like a bag or two full of other stuff, it's like, what the hell?
I got 2 bottles of coffee creamer, some sugar-free whipped
we all
cream.
need whipped cream on our coffee.
Yes. And then nerds.
Jovial Juggler says, good call, Jenna. Nerds Candy will be a Super Bowl commercial this year. Nick says, if you want to give money away, you can send it over here to a struggling reseller. I don't give money away to my family can use. Maybe if I was rich, I would. Yeah, I agree. We're all, how many here?
I'm just over here trying to have food in the fridge.
I know that sometimes you'll come across sellers that says for a charity. So maybe they're doing it for like a dog rescue or something like that. That's noble, right? Maybe they have the money and it's just a fun side thing that they do because they really are passionate about a certain cause. But for the rest of us, the 99.9% of us, that's not anything that we're going to use. And we're doing this to get paid. And I'm not. I mean,
they can get their charity donations from somewhere else.
Thomas says, listen, I think the only time a problem arises is when the garment tapes stretch over time. I occasionally check to make sure it's okay. Paul says, don't do a lot of clothing, but I've always measured from 0. That's the start of the measure, isn't it? Yeah. So what happens? So how do you measure that? Like a seam is like a 1/2 inch, right? You don't start at 1. It's like -1/2. Maya says, I think I'm going to take the plunge and finally get a reseller ruler. That might be a good idea, to be honest with you.
That's probably a good idea because I've thought about that.
Rag718 says they have a question. I have an item listed as buy it now or best offer. It's winding down to the last week with 5 people watching. I have the option to send an offer to the 5 people watching, but should I? They can offer. I would send it. Send the, you have watchers that are watching the item. eBay gives the ability to send an offer. As soon as that offer shows that it's there, an option is there to send the offer, send it. You want to get that item sold as soon as you can. Noah Design says, John is going to show us his 1 inch. Jeez. Maya says, I didn't think it was ideal for pants and jeans, but I'll have to give it a try. Nick says, OMG, those nerd clusters are the best thing on earth. Is that what you bought?
Yes.
Don't get me started with that crap.
I'll show you.
No, you're going to have to bring me one. Tommy says, always send offers as soon as they come up. Yes. Ryan says, nerds in a slushie. I got to hang with you guys. Go to Sonic. If you buy it through the app, you get it at half price too. That's something you'll never hear on other channels. But if you don't have Sonic, I'm sorry for you. The food sucks, but there's shakes and the drinks. What is this? Okay. Tastes a little bit better than the meatballs did. Ashley says, pretty good. I have a Sonic right down the road, and I've never once tried the place.
Yep.
Like I said, the food sucks.
Yeah.
Maybe their Coney Island hot dog is good, but other than that, their shakes are the bomb, and their slushies with the nerds are great.
Yeah. During the summer, we get those because they do like a deal where is it buy one get one half off or half off all drinks or something.
That's pretty good. So I'm not going to take it anymore. I don't need any of this crap. So there you go, guys. This is what you got to try. It's pretty good. I used to eat the nerds when I was a kid because we grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. So when I was able to get my mom to buy me a candy, I get the nerds because I'd eat one little nerd at a time and I'd make that stuff last.
Because you had to make it last because you hardly ever get treats like that.
Rag718, I just feel if it was buy it now, then me sending an offer to the watchers makes sense, but I have buy it now and best offer available for the buyers so they can send an offer if they want to. But you have this item that's been sitting in your store for $70. You're into it for 10. Buyer may not think, well, you know what? I'm willing to pay 50, but they just don't send an offer. Maybe they're thinking about it, right? You say, okay, I'll give it to you for 50. That might be just enough to say, you know what? I'll take the deal. And you always need to be trying to communicate with your prospective buyers. And that is sometimes indirectly by sending an offer. Of course, you can't speak to them, but you can send an offer. Tommy says, I stopped going to Sonic when they stopped the girls in roller skates. And I noticed that. What happened with that?
They got to make cuts somewhere. Maybe they were having too many falls.
Wait, sugar-free whipped cream?
Yeah, it just is good.
Thomas says, the two-way street rag, use all tools available. Yes. Use all tools available. Communication's a two-way street. Joe Samard, yummy. My kids fixing chicken parma for dinner.
Ooh,
there you go.
That sounds good.
Maya says, jovial juggler. Yeah, I don't sell too many shirts, and I feel like they're better for shirts. What I may do is get folding rulers for the pants, and I can use both to get all the measurements at once. Jovi says, what about Tom Mater? Do you like him? Circle yes or no. I don't know what
he doesn't like tomato.
Oh, Tom Mater. Okay. Crimson Broncho says, T-Dog, our Sonic in Oklahoma still has the roller girls, but it's not aesthetically pleasing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's got to be, it's got to be your cup of tea.
You're talking about the ones that can't fit into the skate,
Stop
so
it.
they had to give them a skateboard. Sorry.
You guys, you enable this behavior.
Yeah. Ryan Marshall says it saves you on fees too if you donate. Thomas says tape 2 measuring tapes down, Maya. There you go. You can do that. Margaret says, hi again. I started selling to help our rescue, Red Collar Farm and Rescue, horses and farm animals. That's a noble cause.
That is a noble cause. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So I will donate to a specific cause, whether that be a child trafficking charity or something of that nature, or animals, abused animals. And I need to be connected with it. I want to know where it's going. I want to watch the growth of that charity. I want to see where the money is going. I don't just want to willy-nilly give you the, round up on my Happy Meal and who knows where the money's going.
And I can tell you, Margaret, that Jenna, she likes to watch these channels where they have the farm animals and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell are you watching?
Yeah, he hears a donkey yelling and he's like, what in the hell is that? I'm like, that's Hank. Hank is crying in the field.
Andy says, I actually won the lotto about 3 weeks ago. I went and cashed in my ticket for the $2 and bought nerds. Probably nerds, I think. Nerves. Biff Boffo says, I guess I'm getting some gummy nerd clusters next time I see them. Yeah, they're actually like gummy bears and nerds.
They're really good.
What do we got here? Todd's back. Beard late night tonight. John, another hour. Yes. Thanks for reminding me. You don't have to send me $2 to remind me, but thank you. It's certainly appreciated. For those of you guys who normally like to go to Bearded Picker's channel after we're done on Friday nights, usually he does it at in 11 minutes from now. Well, it's going to be pushed another hour back. So right now it's almost 5 o'clock. It'll be 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll continue the conversation. But
wait, he's going later?
He's going later. He's not going to be back in time to do the
Well,
live.
I noticed he hasn't even been in the
no,
chat.
he's not here. He sent me a message.
Busy.
But thanks for the reminder, Todd, on that. Biff says nerds seem to be the one thing sellers agree upon. Yes,
that's right.
But red or green nerds?
No, they're rainbow.
They're rainbow. Rainbow. Okay. Maya says, Ping, yeah, the one near my house is really slow. If you don't go through the drive-through, they don't allow the app deals on the drive-through. That's why I haven't really gone. So you put you
do it on your app,
and then you go, and then it'll be ready for you.
Yep.
Marianne says, well, hello from PA. Was actually looking something up on here about eBay, and this video came up. Well, hello.
Hello,
thanks for being here, Marianne.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Nice to see you. Paul Rose says, I send offers straight away. Basically, if I'm awake, I'm constantly checking if there are any offers. Yeah, why not? Too. Send those offers. It's the way to go. Not Funny says, if I just put an item up and it gets a bunch of watchers, I don't send offers. The item will usually sell for full price. It's different if it's been sitting for a while. Yeah, always consider how long it's been up.
Don't read it.
Sorry, Tommy. I have to skip it. Biff says, Bearded Picker is moving towards Cinemax hours. Yes. Guy Greer says, the great thing about nerds back in the day, they'd give you 2 flavors and even separate them in the box. Yes, they did. I remember that. So I think we're kind of there at the end. So want to thank you guys for being here, really for being the best part of this channel.
Oh my God,
Wednesdays.
No way.
Wednesdays and oh, hold on. Marianne says, why did this pop up? LOL. Is it about eBay?
Yes.
I mean, I don't care. I'm entertained listening. Now I want some nerds. It is about eBay, but sometimes, Marianne, we get off the rails.
We get off track, and
we
really just go on a whole nother level.
But it is eBay focused, but we try to have fun with each other. So hopefully you can come back from the beginning, get the eBay talk, and kind of get in the vibe with us and be part of it, because that's what it's about, building a community. I guess we have a few more things. Crimson Broncho says, when's the next Vegas reseller event meetup? I'm itching for some sports gambling. I think October, maybe. I don't know, because that's the one of these cross-listing programs has the reseller remix or something like that. I don't know if they're having it this year or not. So check on that.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have to tune in more. That's your homework assignment. Tune in on Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to have the great Roman Anytime Picker on with us as our special guest. But want you guys to have a great weekend. Hopefully yard sales are going to start picking up for you guys. Check into that. See what yard sales that you have going on in your area, and start buying, guys. Right now, good deals can be had. And when you can find good deals, you can translate that over to your store and make some money. But figuring that out, working all that out is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And we will talk to you guys probably not till Monday, but you might see a video from me before then. But either way, have a great weekend. Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys. We love you.